Just testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you.
I can hear.
Thank you, sir.
Has the FBI done to it?
Alan, will Coach be ready to start right at 4?
That is my hope. He has been on the road, so I'm kind of flying a little blind right here.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We'll see if he joins.
Very good. Thanks.
I'm right here, fellas.
He's always dependable.
Don't
Always.
don't count me out, AC. Don't count me out, brother.
Never, Coach. Never.
Gotcha.
You're the man.
I try to be. How you guys doing?
Well,
Good, good.
That's good. That's good. Well, I'm ready for you guys whenever you are.
Cool. So if you guys want to go ahead and just raise your hands if you have a question, and then I'll call on you as we go.
There's some-
See
There's
who
some
goes first.
cameras that's off. Okay.
Oh, Olin, you want to go ahead and kick us off?
Yeah. Hey, Elijah. First of all, your thoughts about being the coach in this game still, and then have you heard of any of the players, whether or not they plan to participate, and do you get the feeling that most do?
Well, I told you guys when Ross asked me to step into this role to be the interim head coach, and I told you that I was going to do everything possible as long as I could to support this team, support this program, and do right by this team. So I'm honored to still be able to finish this race out and represent this university, represent this team in the bowl game. I'm looking forward to it. Now, as far as guys playing in the bowl, that's the conversation we got to continue to have. And one thing I can say is this: is going back to how important this program is and how much these kids love this program. So far, it doesn't seem like there's been a bunch of guys jumping into the portal. Okay, and I'm really proud of guys for taking the time to give Coach Elko an opportunity to build his staff and get the chance to see exactly who's going to be coaching those guys. So I encourage those guys to continue to do that. I know there's a few guys injury-wise. I don't know what their plans are as far as getting surgery now or what. Or is there older guys that's going to prepare for the next level? I do not know that or have the answers to that. But as soon as I get back in town, I will try to get a number on what we have available for the bowl game.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll go to Travis and then Tyler.
Hey, Coach. So who is going to be calling the offensive side of the ball, and kind of what does the coaching situation look like on that for the bowl game?
Yeah, so as you guys know, Coach Cooley has experience being an offensive coordinator. Does a great job. I remember we went down and played Georgia. You know, he was the offensive coordinator when they beat us down there. So he's has great experience. You look at Coach Chaney, another guy that had coordinating experience, who's going to step in a role for us to help us out there. So we got a lot of one thing we have experience on that offensive side of the ball with Coach Chaney and Coach Coley, both having the chance to call the offense before. So the two of those guys, they already started the process of breaking down film on Oklahoma State, and those guys will have a good plan ready to go.
And what was the decision-making process like for you when you're weighing your options between staying at A&M and going to Syracuse?
Man, it's tough. You know, it was tough. You're talking about relationships, great relationships with guys on the team, great relationship with the staff. I told you guys before, my family loves it at Texas A&M. They love College Station, you know, but these opportunities don't come often, you know, and I had an opportunity to come to Syracuse and call the defense. You know, when you become an interim and there's a search for who can be a head coach, you know, sometimes they say they want more experience. This gives me an opportunity to get that experience. This gives me an opportunity to call it, you know, and be able to work with a close friend that I grew up with. And again, if it was not for that unique situation, I think I'll still be here, you know. But I had an opportunity to call the defense here and an opportunity to do it with a close friend. And that ultimately came down to the decision to get that experience to ultimately one day remove the interim tag to be a head coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, Elijah, you talk a little bit about how unique this situation is, and you know, how do you prepare for a bowl game when you got all these external factors and the coaching staff's not even set? I mean, just how do you tackle and begin?
Well, The external factors they said we've been having those since the transition started. So the biggest thing right now is we have a group of guys in line. It's not like a whole new staff came in and starting to try to install a new offense or install a new defense. On the defense side of the ball, we're all still intact. Okay, so that'll be normal. On the offense side of the ball, all those guys have been involved all year, but we're not going to install a new offense. We're going to install the things that we know, things that the kids know, and we'll put our wrinkles on what we need to do for the bowl game. That's what bowl practice is about, being able to do a few new things, but the core of what we've been doing all year will remain the same. And you have guys like, again, Coach Coley, Coach Cheney, Robert Luce, Ben. You got a bunch of young guys who's been trained well and learned how to coach, and they'll do things in a professional manner to make sure that we're prepared.
And then, Elijah, what do you remember about that 2019 Texas Bowl? Same opponents, same bowl game. Just kind of what are your thoughts on Oklahoma State and then also being in the Texas Bowl?
Man, I like you said, they're always extremely talented. I've learned that from my short time in the Big 12 when I was at Baylor. It's a talented team. Coach Gundy does a really great job preparing those guys. They always have talented guys on offense and defense side of the ball. You usually see a lot of Texas kids there too. So that is the guys that play with a chip on their shoulder. And usually there's some friendly battles there. But we'll be prepared. Like I said, there's a plan in place for us to be prepared,
All right,
So how are you juggling your time, and when do you wear a Syracuse hat, so to speak, and when is the first practice back here for the team?
Your camera's not on. What was that, Arcesna? I got you. Okay, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, how do you juggle your time? When do you wear your Syracuse hat, and when do you come back? When is A&M going to have their first practice?
Yeah, so there was a few schools during this process that offered me defensive coordinator opportunity. Okay, and as I weighed all those options, I made sure that I talked to each program that offered me a DC job, that I wanted to make sure I finished out at A&M the right way. And each school I talked to told me that will not be an issue, not be able to do that. So again, right now for us, okay, there's no rush for us to start practice right away. Okay, I think the biggest thing is letting guys get healthy. We're doing strength and conditioning right now, making sure our guys are in shape. Okay, and then as we go through the recruiting with guys being on the road and giving the new coaches that's coming in the opportunity to meet with our players, because the biggest thing right now is making sure that the new staff has the opportunity to talk to their players and make them understand, here's the plan. So that is the most important thing. Get that out the way, and then we'll start preparing for practice. We have practice plans in place. We don't have the exact date when we'll start, but we've been meeting as a staff. We've been Zooming. I've been in constant communication with Coach Coley and Dustin about what the plan is going to be. And again, wearing my Syracuse hat, again, the biggest thing for us right now, the only thing I can control is this. They're going to a bowl game as well. They have a staff that's going to finish it out, okay? Only thing I can come here and control is say, what's the recruiting process right now for me? Who are we going to see? Who we need to talk to? And that's my obligation right now. But at the same time, I'm also making sure that our guys at A&M understand that they came to A&M for a reason, okay? And to give that staff a chance to come in and introduce themselves and tell them a little bit about themselves before they make a decision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Carter.
Elijah, I know that Walter Nolan has announced his intentions to enter the transfer portal. I don't think he's in there yet. Just wondering if you've had any conversations with him and what you've kind of gathered through that process.
Yeah, I told all those guys. I told Walt. I told him Coach Spencer's there now. I told him go give Coach Spencer an opportunity to build a relationship with you. Okay, and I'm pretty sure this hasn't just happened. I'm pretty sure the team's been trying to get Walt to get in the portal, because of the talented kid he is. So this isn't anything brand new. And I told, like I said, I make sure I reached out to every D lineman that played for me, reached out to their parents, and I continue to let them know I spent some years with Coach Elko. He's a great coach. He's a great man. He's going to put a great defense on the field, and to give the new staff an opportunity to show what they're going to do with him, what's the plan for them, But like I said, portal is real. It's something that we got to face everywhere. You know, like I said, here at Syracuse, we're facing the same thing. So the biggest thing is talking to these guys about just give the new staff an opportunity to build a relationship with them before they decide to jump in the portal, before they had any conversation with those guys.
And then since I guess Jimbo's been gone, how much tampering and just outside influences has there been with this program as far as other schools and other third parties just reaching out to players and things like that?
Well, to tell you exactly how many, I don't know, but I'm sure it's going on. You know, like I said, it's guys that got in the portal that made a decision right away. So I'm pretty sure it didn't fall in love over a few hours. So again, I don't know when it started, but I'm pretty sure it started.
Any more questions for Coach? Oh, go ahead, Travis.
Yeah. So were you at all involved with the interview process for the head coach job at A&M? And was that something that was ever presented to you as maybe an option?
When I had the opportunity to be the interim, okay, I understood this, that my interview process started during those few weeks of being the interim. Okay. And I was doing everything possible just to do right by the team and by the kids in this program, and without thinking about myself getting the job. I thought I had those few weeks to interview physically, and I've been here for 6 years. That was part of the interview process as well. But again, this is a premier university, and this is an extremely challenging conference in the SEC. And I thought that they did a great job hiring Mike Elko. I think they did a great job picking the man that was best for this program at this time. And like I said, I'm just forever grateful for the opportunity to lead these young men during those last few weeks of the season. So I'll answer it that way.
Thanks.
Yep.
Go ahead, Owen. It's like you're muted.
You mute.
I've always forget those things.
It's all good.
Since we've been talking about the portal and things like that, would hey, in your new position, would you look to encourage any of the A&M players to go to Syracuse?
I will not encourage anyone. Those guys have to make a decision on their own to get in the portal, but I will not at any point say, hey, come with me. That's not the way I do things. I got too much respect for the university, too much respect for President Welsh, Ross, Mike Elko. And again, now when guys get in the portal, yeah, but until that happens, again, I'm not going to try to tell anybody to get in the portal to follow me. I'll be just fine. And again, I asked those kids to come to Texas A&M for the ones I recruited, and they came there for a reason. Okay, for some reason that it doesn't work out based upon whatever, and they get in the portal, then that's a different story. But I am not looking to actively recruit our guys. That's not who I am.
Thank you.
No problem.
Well, one more from me. Do you know much about Coach Spencer, or what can you say about him and what he's going to bring to A&M?
Yeah, so met Spence when I left Penn State. That new staff was coming into Penn State. It was a transition for those guys. The same thing with the D-line that we had there. Myself and Coach Johnson, Larry Johnson, we had a really good group of D-linemen that was there. And a lot of them played a lot of ball for us before we left. So as Coach Johnson transitioned to Ohio State, I transitioned to Temple. I had a few conversations with Coach Spence about just who those guys were, about their families. And then from there, I think he did a great job relating to them and getting those guys to play well, and then here we go again. Now I'm leaving Texas A&M, and he's coming in. And like I said, I know he's an energetic coach. He has a nickname, Chaos. So I'm pretty sure he's going to tell you guys what that means, and he's going to try to do everything to develop those guys to a really good unit. Like I said, there's a good room in there. We recruited well at that position, myself and Coach Price. There's some first-round draft picks there. He'll be playing for the last 2 to 3 years. So he's going to walk into a room with some ready-made guys.
Go ahead.
I got one more, Coach, if possible. What about you're leaving a program that fired a coach, going to one that fired the coach? You know, in these bowl games, what do you feel is at stake? And should these bowl games that are not in the New Year's Six bowls, should maybe they not play? What do you think about these bowl games?
Anytime you earn the right to play in an extra game, okay, I think it's not fair to the guys that bust their tail to win these games, to bust their tail all year long to advance to these games. I think you give these guys the opportunity to play. You know, it's a lot of things that go into these. Like you help the university do what? Raise money for not just football, but for other sports or however that money is dispersed. You have people that may be a part of a staff that's going to be let go. You give them an opportunity to maybe get their last check, which may be a bowl bonus, if they're now on contract. There's so many things that go into playing a bowl game. And the biggest thing is, man, you get to play another game. Keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing is playing football. You get a chance to do that one more time, why wouldn't you want to do that? Now, I get it. Some guys are going to decide not to play, whether it's due to getting ready for the next level, whether it's due to trying to get injuries taken care of so they can prepare for the next level. It's all different things to this whole thing. But the biggest thing I would say is this. It's a blessing to play an extra game. Bowl games are fun. Bowl games, you create so many memories with bowl games, okay? And I don't think you should cancel the bowl games. I truly don't. Now, if you get to a point where it's not safe, where you don't have enough depth to play in the game, then you got to rethink it. Or you don't have the proper amount of coaches to coach a game, then you got to rethink it. But there's going to be guys that want to play this game, and it's not fair they won't have an opportunity to play due to us canceling it because it's a new staff or because some guys decide not to play in the game. Now, the results, again, you don't know. Maybe you lose a few starters. But what about those other guys that have been busting their tail all year to get an opportunity to play?
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Donna.
Coach, you kind of just touched on it. Just what does it mean to you? You have, you're kind of in a space where you're back and forth, but you have so many personal relationships with this group of guys. So how are you feeling just about, getting to go out there on the field with them one more time?
I hope, Donna, I hope that I wasted all my tears. Not wasted, but I used all my tears. Because since the announcement, there's been a lot of hugs, a lot of tears, a lot of, hey, let me walk away, to kind of keep from it happening again. I told you guys before, people can say what they want. This is a brotherhood. I do care about our kids. But our kids also understand. The moment I sat in their house and recruited each and every last one, I told them they would never see me leave for a lateral job. I would never make a lateral movement. So the fact that they all said, Coach, you told us that you will only leave for a head job or an opportunity to be a defensive coordinator. That's been established since the moment I sat in their house. You can ask every last one of them. So they understood it. It's still not easy. I'm pretty sure it'll be emotional when I go on the field with them for the last time, and it'll be emotional when I leave off the field for them the last time. And not just the players, but the support staff. You talking about, and that's true. It's truly a family, and man, it's gonna be special for me. And I think I probably would not have decided to move on if these programs wouldn't allow me to finish out this bowl game. It'd probably been hard for me to do that. Again, those guys are going to be in great hands with Coach Elko. I pray that they give those guys, that staff, an opportunity to build a relationship with them before they decide to make any other decisions. And like I said, for the guys that decide to play in the game or the guys decide not to play in the game, hope they just all show up to the game and be there. Because I'd love to be with them for one last time. But it'll be one last time on the field. It won't be the last time as far as our relationship. That's a lifetime thing. Now, obviously, become some rules, which I explained to the parents and to the players. Once I leave and I'm out, I can no longer have communication until they graduate or leave Texas A&M.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Any final questions for Coach? All right, I think we're all set. Appreciate your time.
No, I appreciate you guys, and I thank you guys for you guys being kind to me, nice to me, not being too hard on me with the questions over these past few weeks. I appreciate it, and like I said, Aggie Lands will be in my heart forever. Thank you
Thanks,
guys.
Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.